We have Congresswoman Claudia Tenney now from New York. Thanks for being here. We were going to talk about legislative agenda, but let me get a quick comment first on, as I just said, I just think in this day and age, how do we keep hitting, how are these collisions happening? What's your thought?
You're asking me as an expert. Well, my son is actually a graduate of the U.S. Naval Academy.
Well, there you are, then.
He commissioned as a Marine.
Yeah.
I was in Afghanistan, I've been in Iraq, I've been all over the Middle East, and just recently returned from a trip to Israel. So we've toured the region. But I will say this, and we recently passed in our appropriations an increase in spending on our military and rebuilding our military. And the equipment that we're using, the training that our forces are getting is really important. And I can't comment on this. I'm obviously not a military expert. It's definitely something we need to look into and make sure that that our soldiers, sailors, and Marines are safe. This is obviously a tragedy, and my thoughts and prayers go out to the missing sailors. It's a terrible thing that this has happened again with this fleet.
Let's move on to Afghanistan. You mentioned you were there. We're going to hear from the President tonight on, I believe, a strategy that he has selected out of several options. I mean, is there an option at all when it comes to Afghanistan that can be effective?
Afghanistan, my impressions of Afghanistan, I've only been there once. I was there earlier this year on a congressional delegation trip. We have a lot of problems in Afghanistan. Obviously, there's an enormous drug trade that has originated there. There's something like 14 terrorist groups that are based out of Afghanistan. In Bagram, we have a very large prison that is hosting some very dangerous terrorists. And our military has asked for support there. I think General Mattis and the rest and the President, the team is coming up with a solution there. It's a very tricky situation. We've been there a long time, but it is also critically important in terms of the nexus that it has to so many terror groups. And so the vacuum of leaving could be devastating, but I think in many ways over the last 8 years in the prior administration, you could even go back even before that. Maybe we've mishandled what we've done in Afghanistan and we need to revisit it and come up with a plan, because there is still activity in Afghanistan, although it's a struggle. I think we need to help the Afghanis. There's no easy. The Afghanis, we're trying to, as we're doing in Iraq, we're not directly involved, but we're assisting them and helping themselves. I think that is possibly a strategy they're going to consider. Let's wait and see what the President says tonight.
All right. So. One last issue for you, and then we're going to go completely changing gears here.
Thank you.
Steve Bannon, out at the West Wing. Some reports saying that Mr. Bannon will work against the Trump administration. Others saying that he's a loyal soldier and will put more heat on you know, Mr. Ryan and Mr. McConnell to get things done. What are your thoughts on all of this?
First of all, my district elected Trump in a large majority, over 16 points. I mean, Hillary Clinton in upstate New York got 39% in my district. Contrast with Mitt Romney, who got 1% more than Obama back in 2012. So most people don't know who Steve Bannon is. This is all the maelstrom surrounding the White House, the drama in the White House. We care about getting things done. My district is a district with some of the highest job losses, population losses in New York State and across the country. We need tax reform. We need to have the health care bill repealed and replaced. We've done a good job on our Veterans Administration. We have 270 bills sitting at the Senate. You can't say that the Congress hasn't gotten anything done. I'm on the Financial Services Committee.
Are you hearing it from your constituents? When are you going to get something done?
Well, we passed the Choice Act. I think the frustration is with the Senate, rightly so. With 270 bills sitting at their doorstep waiting for them to pass. I'm a populist Republican, but I'm also conservative. I mean, I come from upstate New York. The President is still popular. People don't want to hear about the noise from the White House. They want to hear about what we're going to do to help grow jobs, to grow our economy, to bring us back, to bring our jobs back. Trade was a big issue in my district, too. So, you know, as far as what's going on in the White House, most people don't really know or care. They're tired of the resist movement. They're tired of all the frustration. Let's get on with it. Let's get on with it.
Great place to leave
it right there.
I appreciate it. Congresswoman Claudia Tenney, thanks so much.
Thanks. Appreciate it.